Now, they love to say that, we legally got divorced, but we're spiritually married and our relationship status is the same, but that was not true. And Mary got herself into a little bit of a scandal, a 2015 catfish moment. On an episode of the show, Mary revealed that after her legal divorce, she started to feel more emotionally distant from Kody and the family. She sought some comfort online and she fell victim to a catfish. Could you imagine if the catfish crew came in and they had like two shows collide? But people reported in 2015 that Mary was connected with someone she believed to be a businessman from Chicago and formed an emotional relationship with him. She later learned that she was actually talking to a woman who was posing as a man. Mary said that she didn't know how to get out of the situation once she realized she was being catfished without putting herself and her family and her friends at greater risk. She said, "My family was concerned for our safety and angry that we had been targeted. They were relieved once they found out what was really going on, but because Mary was trying to hide this thing and then she was dealing with all this emotional turmoil, it played out in their family dynamic." I guess maybe Kody saw this as cheating, this catfish moment, so their relationship was downhill from then.
I got into this place where I was talking to different people on social media and kind of, making friends. And I got into this situation talking to one person who really...
That is actually so sad though. Like probably her first hope of finding love outside of Kody, her first time really feeling emotionally heard, and it's a woman who's playing pretend.
Made me trust him. He was just saying all the right things, being very kind and very compassionate and understanding.
She looks so sad here and so distraught. I mean, look at that face. Can we do a zoom in? Poor girl.
And I trusted him. We kind of just started talking online.
Now, while this was a really tough point for Mary and Kody, they remained strong as you can be, saying although there was a lot of attention on this scandal, that their marriage was struggling, but she's not going anywhere, that they will be staying together in a united front. On season 10, there was a tell-all episode filmed in early 2016, and Kody told host Erica Hill that he didn't perceive that Mary had an emotional affair when she was speaking to the catfisher. But by season 12, Kody and Mary were admitting in interviews on Sister Wives that although Mary was still in the family, there was no romance in their relationship. Kody even said that it was as if they were divorced but living on the same block. A lot of episodes in season 12 seemed to be filmed in late 2016, and there's a reason why we're noting these dates. Going on to 2018, the family made the sudden decision to move. At that point, they were living in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they were going to move to Flagstaff, Arizona. They put out a statement saying they were looking for cooler temperatures, mountain air, and scenic views, which, I mean, Vegas and Arizona, they're both pretty equally hot. This was also around the time when Robin's oldest son, Dayton, who turns 23 January 16th, began attending Northern Arizona University. The family bought a plot of land in this neighborhood in Flagstaff where they planned to build houses, at least one for each of Kody's wives and possibly a fifth house to rent. Oh, maybe another wife coming on. And of course, the show captured everything.
I've been working on this project of a pitch for my wives to all live in one house, for all the family to be in one house. I've been prepping this for months now. I am now going to present it to
He seems so creepy, like it's a diabolical plan.
the whole family. And I'm a little nervous. I just want the ability to see my children all the time. And to be frank, it wouldn't hurt me to see my wives every day either.
Oh God, he's the most self-serving person in my opinion. I get like, oh, you want to be around your kids, but it's always about him.
The idea of living in one house really special to me. Is it worth some sacrifices to me? Yeah, it is.
I think the biggest reason why I don't really want to live all in one big house, I just like who I am more now than who I was in Utah or any.
True, and I mean, they have a sense of independence. Do you want to have to share the same kitchen and everything with all these people? It's just too many people in one house, no matter how big the house is.
The other time, I just like me now better. I think I'm a better mom, and I just want to hold on to that.
Now, in sometime in 2019, they made their way back to Nevada, and in this moment, Mary and Kody were going through it. I mean, at this point, they had been going through it for far too long, and they went back to go and see a therapist for a session. Though they previously said on the show they were moving to Arizona as a fresh start, their marriage was in a bad spot, probably the worst it's ever been. Kody said, "Mary mourns the loss of what we had. Scary to me, but I regret what we had." He said that he felt deceived by Mary in their relationship from the beginning. He said he didn't know who he was marrying at the time, but he didn't give examples of what he meant, which is kind of BS. I mean, that's such an easy snake thing to say, like, oh yeah, I didn't know, what I was getting into. I feel manipulated. The man who has 4 wives, I can't get over it. I mean, if comment below, anyone a polygamist out here? And I'm not talking you do a little freaky things with your partner sometimes in bed. I mean, do you have like multiple properties or like families living under one roof? It just seems very difficult.
I don't know who this guy is. To say the things that he's saying now, this is not the guy that we were married to.
I wish you would have made your choice sooner.
My choice was always to stay.
You can tell by the look on his face, he has so much resentment against her.
Had I wanted to leave sooner, I would have left sooner.
I was in terrible relationships, but wasn't willing to discard them, didn't want to discard them.
Also, I feel like people need to learn, like, yeah, maintain a relationship if you really need to, but if you have a terrible relationship, move on. There's someone better for you out there.
Some people call it F and F, and the second word is fight, or F and F, and the first word is fight. All I know is that you and I have different time stamps on when we weren't happy anymore.
Mm-hmm. What sucks is marrying the wrong person and not having the decency to tell her until 32 years later.
Now, this is so stupid. I guess in 2020, at the height of COVID, Mary and Kody celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary. Though they were clear that they weren't romantically involved, Kody hadn't lived with Mary since sometime after the catfishing scandal and when the family was in Vegas. Kody did not want to rekindle their relationship and told Mary that she would have to court him if she wanted him back. Mary asked him what he would do if she leaned over and kissed him, and he was visibly uncomfortable with this idea. You guys need to see how cringe it is.
Be so tempted to kiss you right now. I'm not even kidding, just to see how you'd react. I just feel like kissing you.
Look at his face.
Happy anniversary, Mary.
I said, what'd you do if I just kissed you right now?
Ladies, if a grown man-child ever has a reaction to you wanting to kiss him, and it's like this, if it's even close to this, please just run. Just remember what Sloan told you. Stay strong. But years later, on season 17 of Sister Wives 1-on-1, Kody said that Mary gifted him a Rice Krispie treat for every year of their marriage together. He recalled that the sentiment behind making his favorite dessert and putting so much meaning behind it made him reconsider reconciling with Mary, which this is just so complicated. I feel like these people would all be very productive if they spent like a quarter of the time they did on their relationships and dealing with each other's emotions. He said on season 17 that he told his 3 other wives that he was thinking this. He stated Christine's negative reaction to the idea of him hitting on Mary again, and that's why he did not follow through with the idea, because Christine was like, hell no, Mary's not coming back. It is a dog-eat-dog world out here in polygamy. I mean, of course, the girls are going to manipulate each other and try to get each other out of the house, and once they're out, no, they don't want them back. Now, Kody eventually stopped visiting every wife's house except for Robin's. At some point during the COVID pandemic, Janelle advised Kody not to visit their house because of their 2 adult sons. He stopped visiting Christine's house because she chose to travel to visit her children. He said he put in strict rules in place, like asking people to change clothes every time they went out and to disinfect their mail. Kody's strict rules about COVID caused some of the tension that viewers first caught on to between him and Janelle. When the adults got together to discuss their holiday plans, Janelle actually told Kody to F off, which isn't very Mormon of her. She was pissed off that her husband was trying to make her feel guilty for visiting her children. I'm sure these wives have a very strong bond with their children because, the father was only there like 1/4 of the time. So it's really just the mom and the kids. So yeah, she's going to be like, F you, Kody. I'm going to visit my children.
You're acting like you're not even culpable in this situation.
Culpable? For what? What?
Culpable for not having any respect for me about the COVID
Kody, you were asking me to
rules.
choose between my children and you.
But you never even reinforced the rules. You never even said these are the things you should do. You actually belittled the stuff I was doing.
He's so frustrating. He He is such a pick-me.
Was keeping myself
Kody,
from being a
you
hypocrite.
did not even give us the rules till 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
We've been talking about that for
You
so
did
long
not
before.
give me those rules till 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So from March until Thanksgiving, I had no rules.
Yeah, and I'm sure why would she have to lie? This guy can't keep up multiple households.
No, you didn't. You did too. That's not true.
In my opinion, I feel like, COVID, it was terrible. People died. We can all acknowledge that it was horrible. But in Kody's situation, he seems like such an egotistical person that he took this COVID thing to then justify things he wanted to do. Not because the guy was scared of the disease. It's because he could then now shape his life and use this pandemic to instill fear and to give him reasoning. It's why many of his kids have actually turned against him. After he stopped visiting Christine's house, Kody also decided not to travel with her or her daughter. Isabel was actually getting surgery to correct her scoliosis. Christine later revealed in an interview that Kody's choice not to be there for his daughter was one of the final straws that made her realize it was time to leave him. Kody's refusal to visit any household other than Robin's also caused tension between him and Janelle, who her sons lived with her at the time. They confronted him on an episode and also called Robin and blamed her for making the rules and tearing their family apart. According to Kody and Robin, Kody maintained that he made the rules in order to protect his children and to make Robin not look like the bad cop that she is. In an episode of the show filmed in late 2020, Christine said that her daughters didn't respect their dad because he had favorites in the family, and she was referring to Robin and her children. Here's a clip of Kody talking a little bit about this.
Is Robin the favorite wife?
The fact that took so long to respond to.
That's the most unfair question because you don't have any idea what work she has done, what she has done as a person, the sacrifices that she's made.
See, this is such a weird, it's like, I'm not going to give you an answer because I'm just going to make you feel guilty for asking the question. It seems like that's a theme with a lot of his disciplining of his wives.
The games that she hasn't played. It's not about a favorite. It's about finding favor.
Now, when it comes down to Christine's relationship with Kody, Janelle was supportive of Christine getting out of there. Christine and Kody announced their spiritual split of 25 years in November 2021. Viewers had watched them attend therapy and try to fix problems for many years. Christine's statement about her choice reads in part, "We will continue to be a strong presence in each other's lives as we parent our beautiful children and support our wonderful family." Viewers would see on later episodes that Janelle was emotionally supportive of Christine throughout the stages of her split with Kody. And this actually caused a lot of tension between Janelle and Kody, because of course Kody felt like Janelle was picking sides. Now in season 17 is when we saw Janelle and Kody's relationship fall apart. It actually looks like Kody's kids with Janelle were upset with him because of how he treated them during COVID. Kody appeared to imply that he wanted an apology from some of his sons before they could visit his home with Robin for the holidays. Janelle told cameras in an interview that she would not follow Kody's wishes. Her sons aren't apologizing to him. Like I said in the beginning, Kody cannot maintain these families, and it's why he's forgetting his own children's birthday. His son Gabriel just didn't even get an acknowledgement.
My birthday, and Dad calls me. We have a small discussion about how bad my COVID was. I shouldn't have done this, but I did anyway. I didn't remind him that it was my birthday because I wanted to see if he remembered.
Well, I mean, that's kind of valid. I'll never forget, I had a friend, Monica, growing up. Both of her parents forgot her birthday, and she was my high school best friend. And I always thought I could never imagine my parents doing that to me or being so forgetful. And she's like, she has a brother, but not plenty of children. But I remember that day, I didn't have a lot of money. I was in high school, but I took her out anywhere. I took her to a nice restaurant. I went and paid for her nails to be done. And I just wanted to make her birthday the best day ever because her parents didn't remember. And she had phone calls with her parents throughout the day, and they didn't say anything to her. And I think that's just not okay. It's just unacceptable.
And he didn't.
Look at him crying.
It was a lot worse than just a phone call for me. A couple hours after that, he tried to call me back, tell me happy birthday and make up for it.
Well, yeah, probably because it was oh, shoot, I talked to him on the phone today.
And that's the last time I ever talked to my dad.
That was Gabriel's moment that he realized he doesn't want Kody in his life any longer. Sadly, Gabriel isn't the only child who has cut off his dad. In October 2023, in an episode, Kody revealed that he had been alienated by his daughter, Madison Rose Brush. According to the father of 18, they stopped talking after his 2021 divorce from Christine Brown. And it seems like the chances of everyone getting back together and reconciling is very slim. Now, in September 2022, we learned a lot about this family in their season 17 tell-all. Janelle announced that she and Kody were separated in a solo interview. In a separate interview, Mary said that Kody made the decision that their spiritual marriage was over, which eventually led to the official announcement that these two were done. Kody and Mary confirmed their split in January 2023 on Instagram, saying, after more than a decade of working on our relationship in our own unique ways, we have decided to permanently terminate our marriage relationship. The former couple went on to note that they were committed to showing each other and their families kindness and respect throughout the process, and they were focusing on healing, which it seems like there needs to be a lot of healing, which that ultimately leaves Robin as the last wife standing.
Mary and I get married, and I get married again to Janelle, and I get married again to Christine. And I look back, and because I was so anxious to be living the principle of plural marriage.
So he was more focused on just being a polygamist than actually, wanting to love these wives. He just wanted to have the numbers up.
That I was not vetting who I was marrying to be compatible with me. The blame lays on one thing and one thing only. If you're going to marry and you're going to marry for eternity, you should start out in love.
How do you feel you started
Well, then he didn't.
out with Robin then? Was it different?
Yeah, I was.
Were you different?
Well, I fell in love with Robin. I never fell in love with anybody else. I was just choosing to be in that covenant of love with them.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.